we now return to Let's Play Shadowgate. Okay, so there are multiple things that I need to undo from what I did before. The room begins to spin and you feel vertigo set in. You pause for a moment as the sudden bout of double vision makes it extremely hard to function. First thing I need to do, though, to get through that wall of flame, is quite simply, obviously I'm back a little bit further than I was before. The solution is right here. This vial of water. Just pour that on my cloak. You drench the cloak with water from the bottle. It's dripping wet. And as quickly as it came upon you, the vertigo recedes and your vision clears. You wonder if it has something to do with the scream of the banshee. It does. Now we can go through here, though, and I won't burn to death. A wave of heat washes over you as you move into the next room. An intense heat, surely from the unearthly fire before you, fills this large room. I have the solution right here. Once released from the silver orb, the water elemental immediately launches itself into the fire before disappearing. The flames lower to a tolerable level. And we can just open that. The door sticks a little, but when you put your shoulder to it, it finally opens. We don't want to go through there just yet, though. Now actually have to go back. And it appears to be getting dark. My torch is sputtering out. Okay. Well, it's getting really dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and light another torch. And let's go recapture the water elemental. There are a few things I will need to do first before going through that door. Flame. Okay. Got him back. And I took out that skull, right? That actually needs to go back. So now I've got to wander all the frickin' way. This is the part I believe that I did wrong. I have done these out of order, and it worries me. It worries me that I am not going to have enough torches, that I'm going to run out. I will not be able to complete the game. Okay, I need to look at this thing again. And this time, I need to change some of these into... Shit, where'd it go? My cloak is no longer wet. Okay. The mechanism glows, vibrates, and begins to move. You can hear the sound of rushing water deep within the castle. Right. Well, funny thing is, if you look at these gears, particularly that one, it appears loosely connected to the rest of the mechanism. I think I'll just pop that out of there. You manage to pry loose the faulty gear and immediately place it in your satchel. Might need that for later. I will need that for later. Another thing I'm going to need to do, though, is pop this skull pack out of here. Ah, shit. I wasted a couple moves doing that. Well, may as well take it since I'm here. No sense in not doing that. Probably need to fix that again a little bit later. But by changing those gears, we've actually opened up a new area over here in the waterfall. And this will be necessary to get through the next part on the other side of those flames. Only a trickle of water can be heard moving within this shallow underground riverbed. And there's a big hole over there. Let's go through it. Now, you have to come and get the water spirit before going and doing this, because otherwise it will disappear. And you'll have to turn it back on for the water spirit to reappear. This small cave makes a great hideaway, concealed as it is by the waterfall. Who are you? This corpse is dressed in what was once a regal set of robes. Blood stains the collar, perhaps providing a clue to what killed this unfortunate soul. That looks like a power skull. You pick up the skull and feel a faint trace of power emanating from it. We've also got some stones down here. This smooth, heavy stone fits nicely into the palm of your hand. I'll take both. And now I have something I can put in my sling. What is that? The symbols etched on the wall look something like the written language of the Steppes Magi, who are a traveling troupe of performers and fortune-tellers. You remember visiting one such carnival in your youth at Stormhaven. Okay. Now, the only thing related would be this. And I don't believe I can use the dice on that. Maybe I should write that down. Nah. Let's go back. And now I've got a new skull to plug in. And this is an important one. Unfortunately, it means having to trace my steps and waste who knows how many turns, which is going to lower my torch quite a bit. That one. Right there, with a strange sucking sound, the skull fills the slot on the archway. The hairs on your arms rise as you feel power gather in the air, reaching deeper into the castle. I'm just thinking, do I need that first one? After all? Where I'm going, that might be necessary. Then again, it might not. No, go down. And I'm already about out of my torch. As you can see, these things have activated. Very peculiar. Actually, let's go through them first, because why not? You close your eyes and walk right into the mirror. The expected smack does not happen. Instead, you feel the surface of the mirror give way and experience a moment of weightlessness. When you open your eyes, you are somewhere else. This circular room appears to be used for storage. Unfortunately, it has been ransacked, perhaps by goblins. Let's open that. You rummage through the sack, find 2 cubes of cane, and discard the sack. That is it, huh? What about that? Telltale droppings at the base of this hole indicate a mouse must be the culprit. Anything in here? This barrel is riddled with scratches and small bite marks. Can I open it? You find no easy way to open it. Well, I think you're wrong about that. Let's use the hammer on it. You viciously strike the barrel, smashing it open. You note with great disappointment, the busted barrel is completely empty. What about in that one? Much to the chagrin of the cooper that made it, this large keg has been smashed open, and apparently nothing in there. Open the door. It appears as if the door has been locked from the other side. Well, that's all we can do here, I guess. Could think about taking that, but I don't believe that goes anywhere. Let's go through here again. You run headlong into the mirror, and amazingly the surface gives way. You black out for a few moments, and when you come to, you realize you've been transported somewhere else. Let's try this one. Okay. Some catastrophic event befell this inner keep, smashing the furniture to bits and opening the walls to the elements. You shudder at the devastation. Who's that? A skeleton entombed within an icy tattered robe lies before you on the snow-covered ground. Let's try and get him out. You realize it would take far too long to ignite the remains and give up. Well, let's open that sack. You rummage through the sack, finding 2 scrolls, a skull, and a broken flute. Taking these, you then discard the sack. Torch flickers. Okay. A new spell. You read the words on the scroll. One particular word stands out from the rest. Chrysalis. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power. As you quickly write it down, the scroll crumbles in your hands. You have learned a new spell. Fantastic. What does this one do? The glyph translates to Chrysalis. Your vision is momentarily overloaded by a prismatic array of colors that bridge a great void. Sure. Okay, what's this one? You read the hastily scrawled message written on the scroll. I entrust this task to you, my friend. The weapon that we cannot have the enemy lay his hands upon is the Black Axe. This item feeds off both fear and evil, and I believe that it would reap such havoc on what remains of our defenses. Alas, I know not where it lies, but it is rumored to have struck down the great worm Anoloth. Begin your search in the grottos. The grottos. The only grotto I know of was that one down there with the obelisk. I don't think there's anything else. Nope. There might be something I'm forgetting, but we can go through here. Holy crap. Surrounded by the Gatekeeper Mountains, a lone keep sits in silent vigil on the summit of this snowy peak. What's that? White teardrop-shaped flowers adorn this winter flower. I will take it. Reaching into the snow, you pluck a number of pretty flowers and put them in your pack. Although it's covered in snow, it's obvious this obelisk was intentionally smashed to pieces. Well, there are some wood. Why don't we light that sucker? The flames lick at the wood hesitantly before quickly spreading, engulfing the entire structure. I don't believe I will be able to relight my torch that way. So, we're done with the mirrors for now. I hope. Okay, let's continue on. A sheen of light dances across the surface of a mirror. Say what? Yeah, but which mirror? That one? Nope. Let's keep going. Veins of light-colored rock are pressed into the darker granite of the cave walls. Let's look at this. A large gear is connected to some mechanism in the ceiling via a long chain. Looks like we're missing one right there. I so happen to have one. You let out a sigh of relief as the gear slips into place with a click. I'm going to quick save. An ancient wrought iron grate rests securely within its carved stone frame. Grabbing the cold iron with both hands, you pull with all your might, hoping to lift the grate. Unfortunately, it will not budge. Just so happens, I have a spell for this situation that can move metal. You let out a long breath, gather your will, and chant the spell. Debris falls from the rocks above as the iron grate responds, lifting with a shudder and a squeal and opening the way forward. Yorick snorts awake and looks around. I remember this part. Not far from the castle, I think. Well, good. I also want to take that gear back, because it is the only one I have. And I will need it later, I'm sure, to put back in the mechanism by the door. Shit. How much longer do I want to risk this? Let's look at this. Reaching upward, the ancient skeleton looks like it might have once been one of the inhabitants of this castle. Can I open him? You go through the torn clothes of the dead figure. A rolled piece of parchment is all that catches your fancy. You unroll the scroll, careful not to damage the parchment. You read the elegant writing on the scroll. Brother Delden, please see to it that the circle chamber is prepared for the ritual. The circle dais was in need of some repair the last time we performed the initiate spell on it. We have a young candidate ready for initiation. Once the rite is performed on the platform, please bestow on him all authority and privilege commensurate with an acolyte of the order. It is signed with an archaic letter L. Okay, and another one of those weird symbols that I still don't have any clue what to do with. Also, what's that? This length of metal bar appears to have broken off the iron grate. Take it. No, I don't want the passage. I want that. There we go. I dropped the big, long iron bar into my very small little satchel there on my side. It's magic. Bag of holding. And I don't want to risk this anymore, so another torch. And I don't have very many left. Well, let's keep going. This vast chamber is dominated by an intricately carved circle, wreathed by 12 stone thrones. Power pulsates from mystical symbols set within the floor. Well, first of all, there's a scroll here. While much of the scroll is faded, one part still stands out. And in the end, the evil shall be thrice defeated and thrice returned. The first shall raise a warder to bar the gates from opening. The second shall raise one of the carefree to travel the path of luck. The last shall raise a raven to remake what was undone. The letter is signed Gabriel and includes a glyph which shows 4 vertical lines of varying height. Let's take that. And there's a very special stone here. Use my spell on it. Your eyes roll back into your head as you focus your will on the stone obelisk. You whisper the word Invoken and unleash the spell. The image of Lakmir materializes from within the obelisk.
Listen carefully to my words, boy. There were many who followed the path of the One. Worthy were they, and I counted them as brothers and sisters. Now only I remain. He who is called Timeless. I have fought the good fight, sending many of Talimar's horde back to the depths that spawned them. And though my power is beyond that of mortal man, it is not without limit. But why do I appear before you thus? Am I a ghost? No. Surely I am more than that. This is naught but a projection. As my living being has sought shelter within my tower, it is here I continue my studies to aid you in what ways I can. I grow weary, but know this. I have glimpsed a vast power at the foundation of this castle. This power the Warlock Lord covets above all else. But he fears as well. A hero from the line of the ancients. Or so says Gabriel the Bard. Gird yourself against what is to come, simple soldier. And forsake me not. Follow the ways of the circle. Stray not from its path.
Stray not from its path, he finishes as his form fades away to nothing. Great. And he didn't leave me anything this time. Damn it. Well, what's up there? The golden door is not unlike other ancient objects in this dungeon, covered with etchings and runes. Open it. The door opens with an eerie squeal that echoes throughout the chamber. Not unlike the image in your dreams, the entrance to the inner keep of Castle Shadowgate stands before you, set with a heavy wooden drawbridge. Far in the distance, a signal fire burns in the mountains. I wonder who set that going. Oh, a moat. A foul smell rises from the stagnant water. I bet I can turn that off. I bet I also know which one turns that off. So now I need to go all the friggin' way back and turn it off, because you never know. What's in here? You pinch your nose in disgust. The stench of decay rising from this old stone well is nauseating. A rope hangs from the wooden crossbar. Can I use myself on that? You struggle to untie the rope from the well. Finally, the last stubborn knot comes free, and the rope falls to the ground. Okay, that's not quite what I'd intended to do, but I'll take it anyway. So, now got a problem. The thick wooden planks of this drawbridge create a formidable barrier. And there are gears there, but that doesn't mean anything. The narrow window sits high on the castle wall. You sense more than see a furtive movement in the shadows. Clearly, that's going to have to be my way in. Okay, well, this is the end of the road for now. I know I'm going to have to go back and try the juggling of the skulls again to get the switches moving. There are still several parts of this castle. Not this part. Let's look at the towers real quick. This is where I was through the mirrors. Looks like there's a whole area there that I've not been able to find. No, not the castle, the caves. Right, so there were a few places. Oh, there's the scroll right there. Scroll, whatever. More words. Maybe that'll be important later, after all. Yeah, like the grotto, getting that bastard up there, I'm sure, is a puzzle. They're still crossing the footbridge, that's a puzzle. Right. The black axe in the grottos. That might be down there in the wizard's den. And then there's that thing up there in the ice in the cellar. I'm not sure if I have to defeat the dragon or if I've done what I needed to there. So there's a whole bunch of fun stuff left to do. And I've got 6 torches. Great. And there's a lot of shit here that I need to figure out what to do too. I should go get some more water. When I got this arrow, it mentioned that the silver tip was important. I need to figure out something to do to cure my banshee poisoning. I've got a sword, I've got that magic staff, I've got a broom, this crazy skull, and the flute. I imagine that some of these have something to do. You know what? That pipe might be used for the rat, or the sugar might be used for the rat. I don't know, man. There's just so goddamn much about this game. Well, like that skull with the glasses that I picked up, and I don't know why I picked them up, but I have. I still haven't gone through to the end of this game in my other playthrough, so in fact I've kind of stopped playing through that, so I'm reaching the limits of my knowledge about this game. Anyway, that's enough for this episode. I'll see you next time.